14, I was the quiet kid who got ink all over my sleeves and hid behind sketchbooks. One day, my teacher looked at me and said, "You're our hope this year." My stomach twisted. It wasn't pride, I was terrified. Terrified of the whispers at recess, the eyes of my friends turning into rivals, my mom's voice saying, "Don't come home a loser." That night, instead of getting ready for the contest, I sat alone in my room, burning every drawing I'd poured my heart into for months. The smell of burning paper, God, it stuck. I told myself, if I never turned anything in, I'd never have to watch everyone's faces if I failed. The next morning I lied. Family thing, can't compete. My teacher nodded with this weight that made it impossible to look him in the eye. 15 summers went by. I couldn't even hold a colored pencil, let alone draw. Every time I saw old friends win awards, their faces on the alumni wall, I'd hit like while a wicked voice inside screamed, "What if you'd tried?" Some nights I jolted awake at 2 a.m., sweat soaking my back, heart pounding loud enough to break bone. Sitting in the dark whispering, did I throw away my one shot just to avoid being laughed at? It hurt so bad I could barely breathe. Was I really living or just existing in a shell shaped by fear? The truth is, the fear of failure followed me everywhere. In love, in jobs. Every wild idea crumpled up and tossed because what if I failed again? Every time I'd nearly break out of that shell, I'd pull the covers tighter thinking, what's the point? It'll only end in more shame. It wasn't until I turned 30 that I dared pick up a marker again. My hands shook like a kid learning to write for the first time. But this time, I drew for the kid I used to be, and for the person I almost never let myself become. When color finally spilled across the paper, I cried, not for regret, but because after all those years I finally knew. Fear can pull your heart from your chest, but it can never kill that hunger to try, at least once more. I keep living. Most people will never know the labyrinth I got lost in, but now, these hands, the same hands that burned away dreams, are trembling again, painting things only I dare to touch. How many times have you let yourself slip by, just to avoid a spotlight of failure? Maybe, somewhere deep down, you realize a once-in-a-lifetime chance has already turned to ash for one quiet, never mind. But sometimes, if you just try again, shaky hands and all, maybe your sketch won't stay a draft forever. So, will you give it another shot, or keep sleeping through the ache?